Alrighty guys, so I'm up late tonight. I took a nap earlier today and decided to get some work done. Randomly start scrolling through my phone, about to wrap up and go to bed for the night, and I see that Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen are announced on the eShop. First off, the rumors were true. I actually could not believe it. I thought, I've been hearing that the classic Pokemon games are coming to the eShop for a decade now, it feels like. Second of all, immediately I was like, I gotta see how much this costs. And so you get either Pokemon FireRed or LeafGreen, not the combo pack, so one game or the other, for a whopping $20 each. Yeah, I'm not stuttering. $20 for Game Boy Advance games. Now, many of you might remember that Nintendo has a Nintendo Switch Online app, and on that Nintendo Switch Online app, you get access to the Game Boy Advance library. And people have been begging for as long as the thing has been out for Pokemon games to get onto the Nintendo Switch Online library. In fact, initially, a lot of people accidentally signed up for Game Boy and Game Boy Advance NSO just because they thought they were going to be getting the Pokemon games because Pokemon has been popular forever. But no, Nintendo or Game Freak, or probably the two of them together, decided that Pokemon FireRed and Pokemon LeafGreen would be sold individually as their own cart. Now, many of us have asked for Virtual Console. We've asked to be able to buy these classic games individually because we didn't want to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online. We want to own the games that we're buying. And if Nintendo is not like the biggest monkey paw in the world, oh man. I thought Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 at 40 bucks a piece, and then if you buy them together it's 35 a piece, was already pushing it. But I guess once I saw that they tried to sell the combination together as a $70 Switch 1 game, I should have expected this. Let's be real, this game could have been announced for $10, and most of us would have complained about that being an absurd price for a Game Boy Advance game. And there would have been a big back and forth about how greedy Pokemon is and how greedy Nintendo is, and how the Nintendo defenders would be like, oh, you're being cheap, it's only 10 bucks and this is the best Pokemon game ever. And I think it would have ignited back and forth, a big discussion. But at $20 a piece, right, this is not even like you're getting the combo pack for 20 bucks. This is 20 bucks a piece. If you want the full FireRed LeafGreen experience, they want you to spend $40? My goodness. This is variable pricing at work, baby. Wow. And you know it's gonna sell too, right? Because who are they selling this to? They're selling it to all of those older millennials that have no idea how much things are supposed to be bought for and have no idea how to emulate anything. And they're gonna talk about how it's like, well, I've spent more on a cup of coffee this morning, so it's okay. I can just go ahead and buy myself the Pokemon game I had as a kid. Then obviously, the cost for this is next to nothing. So they're going to make an absolute killing on this. But see, this is all part of Nintendo's pricing structure. And this is all a culmination of all of that, I think. At least, I hope this is the culmination of all of this, because I can only imagine how much worse it could get. Watch them re-release, the Pokemon Yellow for $50 and call it a limited edition and only have, 10 million copies printed so everybody jumps over each other to get a hold of one. But for now, FireRed and LeafGreen, I think, is the ultimate culmination of the terrible greed and pricing structure of Nintendo that we've seen growing for the past few years, and we saw it get amplified with the start of the Switch 2. Just price everything significantly higher, and all of these half attempts at making more money with stuff that involves zero costs. It genuinely makes me start to wonder what else Nintendo has up their sleeves, because I guarantee you they've been sitting on this for quite a while, and they're like, okay, we'll wait until we're desperate and the shares are down and the profits are down, and then just casually surprise people with Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. Come to think of it, I do wonder why this is showing up on the eShop at 1:30 a.m. They were waiting for the Japanese market to close? I don't know. I'm talking Eastern time, of course. It's up for pre-order now. I'm assuming it's going to be launched on Pokemon Day in a week from now. But what would actually be insane is if there's no Gen 10 announced in this Pokemon Day, which is what everybody's expecting. And this is the big thing that they were gonna have on offer. There's everybody's big surprise. Pokemon Red and Green are gonna be available for the Game Boy Advance for 20 bucks a piece. I mean, look, I guess if they value Mario Tennis Fever at $70 and like Welcome Tour is worth $10 and Drag X Drive is $20, Bonanza DLC is another $20, a minor frame and resolution bump for Xenoblade Chronicles X is another $5. Yeah, variable pricing means they will price what they think they can get away with for the most amount of people. And look, it's actually smart. Like they could do $10 right now. They could easily have said, hey, this is gonna be $10. But I guarantee you, they're like, well, we know if we put this at $10, they're still gonna complain about it because they're gonna be like, well, why wasn't it on NSO? So they're like, for the people that are not gonna complain and they're gonna sucker out and buy $10, they're not gonna suddenly be like, oh, draw the line because it's at $20. No, we're talking about Pokemon fans and Nintendo fans. You know, we're talking about people that they think they're doing Nintendo a favor every time they buy something. Actually, it's the opposite. They think Nintendo was doing them a favor for allowing them to give them money. This type of release has that like thoughtless Nintendo fan spending all written all over it. Not that every single Nintendo fan thinks without thought, but the group of Nintendo fans who are kind of like really supposedly enraged whenever these prices get announced, or like Nintendo does something anti-consumer or anything like that, they shrug their shoulders and they're like, nah, I mean, I hate this and I wish Nintendo didn't do it. Darn it, I'm gonna have to buy both of these games and I'm gonna spend $40 for Pokemon Green and Red, even though I still have it on my Game Boy Advance and I still have it emulated on my 3DS and I actually have it downloaded on my phone in case I get bored at the DMV. But I need that portability for my Switch too, just in case. Okay, I guess in fairness, you can be getting on a Switch Lite as well. I don't think this is limited to Switch 2. Actually, let me Google that before I make the wrong statements. Yeah, okay, there we go. It is on Switch and Switch 2. Gosh, $19.99 with a 40 megabyte download size listed. And yo, they even put like screenshots. Like, yo, just in case you didn't know what Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen look like, here's some screenshots. Just so you can relive the moment and be like, oh yeah, now I remember that game. As if like the people buying this are not going to remember this. Yo, but real talk, I love Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen. I'm due for a replay on this. I'm not gonna spend $20 on it though. Absolutely not. I've played this game about 100 times and I think only one time was on official Nintendo hardware. So I have owned this game at one point. I do not know where that cartridge is, but I do know that I still have this game everywhere. Because of course I do. It's a Game Boy Advance game that hasn't been sold in 20 years. Or are we at 30 years yet? Something like that. I'm kidding, of course. The only time I play this game is when I officially use the own ROM that I extracted from my own cartridge. Oh, I am so excited to see what YouTube looks like tomorrow. Like, not even on my own channel. I'm so excited to see all of the other channels pick this up. Because, you know, like, whenever Pokemon starts getting big, like, that's when everybody comes in and starts hating. And I'm not even saying that in a negative way. Like, Pokemon deserves every ounce of hate that it gets. And by extension, Nintendo deserves it as well. And this is like when every single dramatic channel usually starts to pop up. And they're all going to be talking about how Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen are going up for sale at $19.99. And I think what's even more exciting than that is seeing what people are going to try to defend it, how they're going to try to defend it. I mean, obviously you're going to be the ones who are going to say, this is the one time I'll spend this for Nintendo, but like, they're not going to get this out of me again. And then you'll get the other ones who will look at you and just call you a pirate because you like, just go play it for free. Why would you? I mean, the Virtual Boy games were like $100 for people to play right now. They're like Pokemon at $20 suddenly doesn't look like a bad deal. Then people are going to be saying, oh, they just want to play games for free. It's like, we don't want to just play games for free. We just don't want to have to spend $20 to play Pokemon on our Switches. Like, it's not that complicated, man. Maybe it is complicated. Maybe like the idea is like, oh, why wouldn't, they're a business. They're supposed to try to make money. What's wrong with you? Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm gonna wrap up this video right now. I don't really have anything to add. I was just like so shocked by this. I'm like, I am gonna put this microphone in front of me for 10 minutes and I am just gonna see what comes out of my mouth. Although, to be fair, that's like 3/4 of my videos right there. This is the sloppiest of slop videos. This is the most reaction that you're ever gonna get from me. Unplanned and unscripted. Probably have some cheesy Pokemon music in the background too while we're at it. And in most cases, I would like sleep on this and wait and come back the next day and have something more thoughtful to think of. But I was just so shocked by this that I wasn't gonna be able to sleep. I was gonna see this. I was about to doom scroll and like read comments online for the next hour. I'm like, screw it. Let me just go on there, make a video and throw it out there. Let people laugh at it. Because let me tell you, like, I have been shocked by a lot of things from Nintendo since April until now. And I'm sure like most people have extended even beyond that. But for me, like, that's when the glass shattered, was like with the Switch 2 reveal. And this genuinely shocked me. Like, my jaw dropped. I saw 1990. I was surprised, first of all, that they even announced the game coming. Like, that was the first surprise for me. But I saw the prices and I'm like, They're selling me $40 if you want to be like, hey, I want to have both Pokemon FireRed and LeafGreen so I can get every single Pokemon. Wow, man, and they're gonna make money off of it. Like, I'm going in circles now, but like the thought of like coming into full fruition of this game released initially like on the Game Boy, not even the Game Boy Advance. I mean, it's a separate game. It's like they put a lot of effort to, back then they were putting effort, remember? But they did put a decent amount of effort to get it from the Game Boy to the Game Boy Advance. I mean, you can see the difference. Maybe not by today's standards, but I thought so back in the day. But either way, you're talking about something that started in 35 years ago, and then they've done like a whole bunch of different Gen 1 callbacks and Gen 1 remakes. And we've gotten to the point where they are reselling the Game Boy Advance, which was the first remake, for 1/3 of the price of what they sold Let's Go Eevee for last generation. Babe, I mean, in fairness, I'm pretty sure this game was like $40 when it launched on the Game Boy Advance back in the day. And maybe that's gonna be the defense force. They're gonna be like, well, when you account for inflation, back when it released at $40, it was like worth $100 today. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna upload this video. I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna come back to my desk probably in like 7 hours for work. And then I'm gonna start reading the comments. Because... They're charging $20 a piece for FireRed and LeafGreen, guys. Oh man. Okay, that's all for now. Good night, folks.